What is it about horses that attracted me from the age of 5 onwards? And what have horses got to do with my other passions? Boats, trains, mountains, babies, poetry, singing? I'm going to take us on a journey to look at that. A baby, like a horse, is a very good listener, intently taking in the world around them. As a baby, I was already a contemplative, and in the arms of my mother, showing a great interest in the natural world. Around the age of 5, I was abused by older children, which left me in hospital, bewildered and very traumatised. It was after that, I think, that I learnt to be a Pollyanna. If you draw what you wish for long enough, maybe you can create your dream. I was drawing horses from the age of 5, and at the age of 12, my parents finally agreed that I could have a horse. This is my second horse, Marinka. My first horse was called Silver. He died suddenly in the paddock. 2 years later, Marinka also mysteriously died. After that, I didn't feel I deserved to have a horse. When I was 15, our father was asked to do a scientific project in Arizona. So the whole family set off in a ship, leaving school behind. I fell in love with a 21-year-old, danced, sang, wrote, and fell in love with boats. Falling in love for the first time was beautiful. We wrote letters for 2 years. And then, just at the point of my matriculation exams, he broke it off. Instead of becoming an American Indian, I went to a high school with thousands of students, all pledging allegiance to the flag. Then I just had to learn how to still be myself and try to fit in. I finished my honours degree, but the dream kept tugging at me. So in the early 70s, I dropped out and went bush. At Cabanandra, we tried to reinvent the wheel and recreate community. I was happy as long as I had my horse. Both of these horses, by the way, lived to a ripe old age. We did a lot of building and raising children in this beautiful place called Warm Corners, Cabanandra. The community we created is constantly renewing itself. In 1975, I broke my back trying to do teacher training. 2 years later, I gave birth to an amazing Swiss baby called Aminya. Aminya also loves horses, and luckily, Kaya doesn't need to be taught to love Elvis. Bonnie, my sweet second daughter, determined not to smile at the camera. And the one in the bath is Bowen, 1 hour old, named after Mount Bowen, a very welcome brother and a home birth. Back on the horse, despite the bad back, and Aminya is waiting for her turn. After moving to Canberra for the kids' high school, I met a scientist who, like my dad, travelled a lot, including to the Andes. Looking at the old photos, even my mother was a horse girl. A great joy about being in Canberra was singing with a wonderful women's choir called the Sirens. I loved to harmonise, but the choir actually encouraged me to sing my own song solo at the folk festival. The Warm Corners poetry collection, published in 2000, was an opportunity for us women to talk about our life-changing experience at Warm Corners. Last year, wanting to celebrate some of the richness of my life experience, I went solo and published my own poetry collection. The poem Singing Stones, which translates from Jingalala, our precious river, talks about going within to find our hidden strengths and having the strength to express them. This I use as a tool in my coaching workshops. Looking at the Bowen Range always gives me a sense of connectedness and tranquility, especially knowing that we help to preserve it as a national park and wilderness. So what have horses got to do with trains, boats, poetry, singing, mountains? Well, they've all helped me to learn to trust in my journey. And they all rock.